And welcome to New Energy Crew Podcast. I'm your host, JP Warren. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. We're actually doing this live. Previously, we were doing this live on TikTok, and now we're just trying out Instagram. Again, this is one of those efforts where I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and to embrace doing this live public speaking. My wife has told me many times that I have a lot of filler words and I ramble, and I think this is a good way to kind of get through that and not do that. So I want to thank everyone tuning in. I think this episode is brought to you by You Crew. This is the coaching to the imposter coaching that we'll be discussing. And if you're looking to kind of capitalize and kind of remove those limiting self beliefs that are associated with imposter syndrome that 70% or more of high achievers face, then reach out to me, and we can. We're launching an IS, the imposter syndrome to the I am journey, where you actually take your self-limited beliefs and kind of turn that into a strength. So today's episode, if you're enjoying these, feel free to share, comment, like, and make sure you're subscribing, because we'll be doing a lot more of these miniature 15-minute long episodes, kind of that hopefully help you out there. That might kind of put some clarity, or maybe give an idea out there to you that might be much needed. I find myself that, I kind of get in these ruts. I kind of get in these constant, same shit, different day. Everything's the same thing, different day. However, this is a good way to kind of break out of it, to kind of get out. This is all about goal setting and the importance of goal setting. And this is something I really never really got into before I even started any of these crew companies, from Connection Crew, Crew Club, Exec Crew, any of this stuff. I never really started with a goal. It was started kind of a survival mode. So let's kind of dive into the two goals. I'm going to be referring to kind of the notes that I kind of have for this episode. All right. So I think it's, I listened to something yesterday that was interesting. It's like the majority of us, we relive the same 6 months over and over and over and over. It's the same 6 months. Okay, well, I'm going to start doing this. And then, you kind of get in your old routines. You kind of get stuck in the stuff that you've always done. And so I actually I noticed this too. So when I first started Connection Crew, it was more survival mode. There wasn't goals for me to kind of go after and do. It was just, hey, we got to pay for the roof over our heads. We got to survive. So there really was no goal setting. And I really kind of found out that I was really moving around very fast. And growing, and don't get me wrong, it was very good. It was growing and all that stuff. However, it was a lot of effort and it was a lot of energy where I was just kind of like, oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing this. There was no clear kind of direction I should be going. So in reality, when I realized I kept on spinning my wheels and I was doing the same thing, or even getting out of not doing the same thing, but I wasn't shooting for a goal. I was leaving my house, getting my car without a destination. I just knew I had to get miles in my car without a destination to go. And once I really started kind of putting down goals, and I have, 3 whiteboards, 2 huge whiteboards behind the camera and 2 little ones. Once I started kind of putting down my goals and kind of putting down, my vision board, whatever you want to call it. And no, I didn't cut out, but I kind of put down what I wanted from these different crews, and kind of how I know I've achieved this. So once I started doing that, I really kind of started kind of helping me with my imposter syndrome. It really started kind of helping me push myself to achieve it. So we're going to kind of get over goals and why. It's New Year's. Everyone's out there for the New Year's resolution. Like we're going to make these big changes. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm really going to stick to it this year and all that stuff. Everyone's talking about these New Year's resolutions, but in reality, if you're one of I have it here, the 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by the second week of February. And that's according to the U.S. News and World Report. Can you relate to that? I know I can. I know I made New Year's resolutions to stick with something. And I've tried to kind of stick with that. However, I always find excuses to either wait before I kind of go after whether it's a health goal, like getting back in the gym, or, working out, hitting this, or the calories. But there's always something. It's easier to reset into my previous behaviors, which is, people are going to be at the gym anyway. I'll just go in 2 weeks. And then what happens in 2 weeks? Life starts getting in the way. So it's just a date on the calendar that changes, but people believe that I'm going to come out of this new year as a new person. And I think making little changes can result in big results. I'm not saying what people should do or shouldn't do. I think if you do want a lasting change and you do want lasting actual kind of Traction is to set goals. It's to set small goals. And actually, we're going to talk about celebrating goals because I think that's important too. So, all right, let's get into this. All right, and you can actually think out there. If you're listening to this right after New Year's, think why your resolutions don't last. It's one of those things. Maybe there's no clear direction to it. Maybe your resolution. I want to get in my, going back to the car example. I want to get in my car and I want to go 100 miles. Well, I can go 100 miles on the block. I need a destination. I need some place to go. I need to set my bearings, my eyes on somewhere so I can progress. And this year, I'm all about centering and elevating. All right, so let's get into this. So I want to talk about like the power of small changes when it comes to goals. I heard this comment the other day. It's like, small changes make the most impact. Think about this. So if you're walking in this direction, a straight direction, and and someone nudges you, whether it's 5 degrees this way, or whether it's just kind of a half a step to the left, half a step to the right, that might not mean it's gonna a big change to you right there. If someone might bump you, you might change your trajectory just a little bit, and you might not even notice it. However, it's small enough if you kind of come back to that person and look at that person another month down the road, or a week down the road, or a year down the road, where the original destination and where they have shifted from that slight 5 degree, 10 degree change in their step, their directions are completely different 2 weeks out, a month out. So think about that. So think about the impact, the small changes that you can do that can result in some big impacts. All right. So let's, these small changes, it could be anything. It could be anything from health, whether it's like, passing on fries. And I actually, going back to the resolution, they always get upset at myself for resolutions. It always comes up, I always let myself down. I don't stick with it. And not only that, then I just forget about it. And then the season comes about, the holidays come around. Then I just remind myself like, okay, I should be doing what I promised myself a year ago. So that just kind of combats and adds towards kind of, I guess, let myself down. I think through these small changes, it allows you to kind of have that 5 degree of change to reach a completely different destination. All right. So what small things can we do today? What small things can we do today that will kind of elevate who we are, not just who we are to ourselves, but around our loved ones, around our colleagues, around customers? What can we do? What small things can we do that makes the biggest impact? Some things that could be, whether, again, I just said skipping fries. One thing for me that I did last year in February, I stopped drinking. Well, not 100%, but I drastically reduced. And the smallest change that I had to do that was to say, oh, I'll just have a Topo Chico, or I'll just have a mocktail after the waiter went around the first time. After that small little first order, once I changed it up, it was very easy after that to kind of not succumb to the peer pressure of having cocktails. Small things like getting a card for your spouse. I hope my wife's not watching right now, but a small step when you're at the store, grab a card. That little extra thought, would that make your spouse's day or not? What else? This is a good one. Putting your phone down. Like simply just putting your phone down and do not disturb, whether it's in the other room or whether someone's talking to you, and have it in your pocket. I know I've been guilty of having, like, when I'm talking, it's just routine. You just kind of get your phone out. You kind of, whether you're looking at it or not, you just want to, hopefully I didn't miss anything. So put your phone down. See how that increases and improves your communication with people out there. All right. So again, these small changes can have big results. These small changes are more manageable, and kind of you're in more control of these small changes. So let's get into that. And honestly, look, all these things I'm talking about, look, I wish I lived by them 100%. Okay. We're all human. We're all learning. We're all growing. We're all evolving. So again, if you make a commitment to yourself, you make a promise to yourself, or you set a goal for yourself, it's okay if you don't achieve it. We're all human. Just kind of realign it. So let's get into that. So let's talk about the benefits of goal setting. And kind of personally, what I've noticed about the benefits of goal setting was that it gave me direction. As an entrepreneur and having like kind of you're wearing all the hats. You're wearing the hats all the way from invoices to kind of emails to content to this to that to that. It was a lot of not wasted energy and effort. It was a lot of necessary energy and effort, but it didn't allow me to kind of pick my head up on off the ground and kind of look around, look what's on the horizon, what other opportunities are out there. So goal setting kind of provided me a clearer direction on kind of where I wanted the cruise to go, where I wanted to develop. And once you actually slow down, pause, and don't get into the same 6-month cycle of your life or whatever that looks like, and set a goal, it gives you direction. It allows you to kind of pick your head up out of the weeds and kind of look forward. All right. So what else can it do? Well, I know my big thing is I have imposter syndrome. I experience it majorly. And I know that whenever I do put a goal down and I achieve it, whether I feel achievement or feel success or not, I have a new proof that I have a new proof, new evidence base that I have achieved the goal. So that just builds confidence, that builds momentum, that builds me saying, okay, well, here's a new challenge I can take on. Can I do that? Well, let me look at my goal. Yeah, I can do that. I've just accomplished these 3 goals that I set out for myself and I challenged myself. All right. And again, all this stuff, it combats imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is that feeling that over 70% of high achievers feel. And this is something I'm focused on with you crew and also my executive coaching side of things, is that whenever you can look at your goals and whenever you can see your progress, and not only that, whenever you can achieve your goals and celebrate your goals, you start rewiring your brain. You start kind of telling yourself, I can do this. I am not only good enough, but I am capable enough. All right. So again, it combats your imposter syndrome, and that's an imposter syndrome is something that a lot of people face. All right. What else does it do? Again, I talked about this. It keeps you motivated. These are milestones. You know, I'm looking back over the computer. I'm seeing some goals that I made back in 2022, and I haven't erased yet, or early 2023. And I see that, and I remember writing those goals down, thinking, I'm not gonna. This is a far-fetched dream, but let's try. And I see that, and I've achieved it. So again, it's motivating. It's you have tough days. You can look at the board. You're like, wait a minute, it's not that tough. I'm moving the right direction. And progress is never linear. We all know that. All right. And also it provides constant growth, constant elevation, evolution, if you will. People are like, it's always like new year, new you. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's, if anything, or I want to be better this year. But what does that mean? I mean, if anything, we should all be trying to evolve into with healthier and better habits. And I think setting goals is a way to kind of reinforce that with you. All right. So where can you set goals? What areas of your life can you set goals? I actually recently purchased a remarkable 2-pad. Before, I had notebooks everywhere, just jotting, my brain diarrhea down, just putting it down there. But anyway, I got one of these remarkables, and literally I kind of, every day so what I'm doing now is Sundays, but if I can't sleep or if my mind's racing and all that stuff, I will make draw 2 lines on a paper, and you can separate into career, personal, relationships, and health. Okay. And again, it doesn't have to be grandiose. So really in your life, just think about what's important to you, whether it's spirituality, whether it's taking on a new task, whether it's learning a new thing. You can break up and separate your goals into different areas of your life. All right. So what makes goal setting effective? First off, it has to be consistent. I think goal setting is something that needs to be done. I think you need to utilize your schedule for you. And I think that's the challenge for me is scheduling. And this is one of my what I've started doing in 2023 and into the new year is being more regimented with my schedule, whether that's, okay, hey, Sundays, before, we start cooking, my wife and I start making dinner, I'm going to take 30 minutes and plan out my week, what I would like my week to look like. Is that in the mornings is taking time to myself and writing down my daily goals. And I find that kind of to be motivating because you see what you want to accomplish that day. You're not getting lost on the 700 emails or like, oh, like I got to, fill this out, or I should be creating this type of, you stay focused. So it keeps you focused. It keeps you dialed in. All right. So block off 30 minutes of your week. Block off 30 minutes of your week to start creating a goal. Do that now while on your phone. If you're listening to your phone, take it out, block off 30 minutes, maybe this afternoon before you have to go back into work this week. And really just kind of real basic, just block out what you want your week to look like. Leave some open space and again, it's fluid and it's a guide. Okay. So don't be too hard on yourself. You don't stick to it 100%. All right. And something that we often, I always I remember when I first started off my career, we started doing these SMART goals, these goals that are smart, these specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. And when I first started doing this, I was like, okay, this is just an exercise. I'm gonna get done. We take a break and go have lunch. I've actually really started believing and diving in and being kind of a disciple of these SMART goals. Again, just Google SMART goals. You can find it. I have a couple sheets on it as well. If you're curious, just shoot me a note. We can get that to you. But these SMART goals, or you go to the website and you can download a UCrew SMART goal there. But in reality, it really kind of breaks your goal setting down. It specifies it, makes it. It's not this vague. Oh, I want $1 million in my bank account. No. It's like specific. I want this much in my bank account by this day. This is how I'm going to do it. This is how I want to do it. So it models your goals for you. It gives you a roadmap. All right. And also set realistic expectations. If it's a season where something's gonna be difficult for you to adhere to, be flexible with that. Be flexible with your week. Again, progress is not linear. Allow yourself some flexibility to whenever a personal appointment pops up or something like that. Set your goals where you can achieve. Set them high enough where far enough where you can achieve them. All right. Again, be flexible. Be flexible with your goals. All right. I think I'm going to wrap this up with kind of the two things to constantly do. I know with my goal board, it's one of those things where I constantly have to go back to it. I think it's every week I go back to it. I kind of get create new goals or keep my progress report on where I'm at with my goals. So it has to be consistent. Stay consistent with your goal setting. Stay consistent with your scheduling. And if you get off your scheduling, or if you get off your goal setting, Sundays, goal setting Sundays, whatever you want to call it, it's okay. Give yourself a break. Get to it Monday. Get to it Tuesday. It's not the end of the world. So just have consistency. And I think consistency, the more stuff that I read, the more stuff that I see, and I follow all these, these motivational, inspirational accounts, whether it's, on social media. We're going to talk about that. You probably got that from the last episode about changing your algorithm, but it talks about consistency. Consistency is never linear. It kind of goes like this, or it kind of goes all around. So be consistent. All right. Even if it's not when you want it, give yourself some grace with that. Another thing is celebrate your achievements. This is something that I think is that not a lot of people do enough. And I'm guilty of this as well. Whenever you do achieve your goal, or whenever you do achieve a goal, and I don't care if it's sending all the emails or responding to the emails, I don't care how big or how small it is, celebrate that. You achieved something you put your mind out there to, and you should be celebrating that. I don't care what it is. Do a small celebration of success, because you did achieve something that you put your mind out to. And I think that's very important. I think that rewires your mind, that rewires your self-talk, and kind of the lines in where it's like, it feels good to achieve your goals. And you want that. You want to intrinsically feel good to achieve your goals, and you want to feel a certain way. So again, celebrate your success, celebrate it, and stay consistent with it. What else? And I think that's it. Again, to kind of recap all this, it's small changes that have the biggest impacts. Okay. Again, what small changes can you do today? What small changes can you do this week that you can try it out to? Can I set out 30 minutes of my afternoon today? To schedule? Can I set some goals? Can I set 1 or 2 goals that have to deal with my family, that have to deal with my career, or that has to deal with, whatever it is, my health? And chart those goals. Have your goals written down, clear. Have your goals written down, how you're going to get there, very clear. And not only that, celebrate your successes. Whenever we do achieve something, we want to know, and we want to celebrate the success we've done. So everyone out there, we're just under 20 minutes. If you stick around on LinkedIn, we're about to do another one on the power of self-talk. And I think this is something it's a cool one to me. So if you've enjoyed this Energy Crew podcast, please be sure to subscribe, like, share, talk about it, brag about it, make a new fake account so you can subscribe, blow it up. But anyway, no, I'm kidding. Hey, everyone, have a great day. Keep your energy moving in the right direction. And again, small changes, big results. And we'll talk to you soon. And thanks for tuning in on Energy Crew Podcast.